This ain't no game, this that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. All the shows spread fake news. We just call it podcast. West, Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dalton. Ain't you know that boy hit you. He said he want small fries. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Here he goes. This place is gone.
If we set it and set it in stone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know it?
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? We are coming to you live from the Shoot 360 studios. Welcome to the longest running streaming podcast in the nation devoted strictly to the University of Louisville athletics. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast brought to you by Prime IV Louisville. As you can tell, we're trying out tonight the chat line on the side of the stream. So Robbie says, good evening, gentlemen. Cashmere already chimed in before I activated it. What's up, Cash? I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman. Here are my co-hosts for the day, and we're still waiting on a couple to hop in. They will jump in throughout the show. First and foremost, it is there's Cashmere's comment coming down. Well, and what is okay? So I can't see that. So let's not do that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Don't like it. I can't see all the comments when we do it that way. All right. It's the big little brother, Joe Wallman.
Acknowledge me.
I'm going to acknowledge that Gatorade Zero is fire. Sitting across from me, I somehow drew the short stick. It is the one and only. It's not Prime IV. It's Shawn IV. And this dude, when I tell you, I'll tell you a story later about Shawn and his incredible sponge of a body. Pause. It's Shawn. Shawn, what's up?
How's it going?
It's going good, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you joining us. We all had our group Prime IV hydration on Saturday. Everybody else, it took about 55 minutes to soak up all the nutrients. Shawn was done at about 27 because apparently his pants aren't the only thing that's dry. His body and his system was as well. Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or however, send us your questions on social media. Check the graphic below on the right side to see where to follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media. And on the left side to see how you can help support the podcast monetarily if you wish. Hit that thumbs up button while you're watching on YouTube. It is our preferred way of watching the show. It helps us out more with sponsors. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live. Shout out to those fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Four Pegs, Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, Zach from Beckman's Fine Blades, Josh Jarbo from Remax Realty, and Prime IV Louisville. Speaking of Prime IV, at Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, they believe in the power of personalized health care. Their memberships are designed to provide you with regular access to top-quality IV drips and injections tailored to your unique needs. Discover the benefits of consistent wellness treatments and join the Prime IV family today. Your journey to better health starts here. Shawn, I want to ask you this before we get into the meat of the show, and of course, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Your honest opinion. So you started doing this was your second time.
Mm-hmm.
What have you noticed about since you started doing these? Because all of our experiences aren't going to be the same, right? Mm-hmm. It may help me out exponentially. It may help you out moderately. It may help Joy out in between somewhere. But what have you noticed? Because those of y'all that don't know, Shawn is a fairly sickly individual. He's got something. He catches so weird. It can't catch a date, but catches everything else that's out there pretty regularly. What have you noticed since you started doing these drips and injections?
I haven't really caught any colds, like at all.
Okay.
And then also I've had more energy. Like even if I'm going on a normal amount of sleep, I can still keep going. Like I can get up let's say I go to bed at like 3, I can get up at 7 and go for quite a long time before I have to take a nap.
Why are you going to bed at 3 o'clock, bro?
Sometimes I just can't sleep.
So the point being you've noticed considerable difference in the way you felt.
Yeah.
And you can do that too at Prime IV, Hydration and Wellness. Tell them we sent you. They'll take care of you. So we normally would do, and I did write down some of my thoughts. Segment 1's normally my thoughts. We don't have to push episode 300 anymore because it went off last week. It was a success. Thank you to Chris Redmond, to Arnold Jackson, to Stev Rummage. Appreciate all y'all joining us here, and we had a great time. Oh, and you all too for joining us. So let's start it off. Clemson, and again, I somehow I have abbreviated this, and it still ended up printing 10 pages of notes. So the font's a little. That's what we're going to blame it on, the font. Their first scoring drive was a 6-minute 30-second drive. Ended up 3-0 Clemson at that point. Then I put the notes. We can't go 3-and-out on this drive. Seems like Clemson is content with dragging this game out, and we need it to be that way. Louisville's second possession from the 10-yard line. Q1 gets 7. Then a hands to the face takes the Cards out to the 35-yard line. Skinner gets 15 yards, and here we go. Followed by loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Bell gets 12 more. Cards on the 38. Lacey gets 4 on a screen pass. 2nd and 6. There's a misfire. It's 3rd and 6. Moss with a gain of 1. It's 4th down. There's a field goal from 51 yards away. It's his career long, and it's good. It's 33 or 45 seconds left in the first quarter. The first quarter went about how we wanted it to go. Dragged out, sustained, minimal scoring drives. First quarter was an A+ as far as I was concerned. Clemson's ensuing possession, quick drive and a punt. So we needed that, but we followed it up with a punt. On their fourth possession, they start out on the 5-yard line. It looks like they fumbled the ball, but they call it incomplete. That was a big deal. 2nd and 10 from the 5, and we stuff them. It's 3rd and 10. There was a blatant and obvious holding in the end zone that was not called for a safety. Then there's a pass deflection. It's 4th down. Should have very good field position, which we do. We start off at the 39-yard line, which we saw one of the best throws of the season from Miller Moss. It was a 38.5-yard strike to Bell, and it looked like a touchdown live. It was reviewed. They call it 1st and goal. Duke takes the ball on the first carry. It's 2nd and goal, and then that's followed up with the Miller Moss quarterback sneak. Fish, touchdown. The ball don't lie. It's 9-3 Cards after a missed extra point, a minute 14 drive. So still feeling pretty good at this point. Clemson follows that up with their 5th possession. They punt. On our 5th possession, we do a fake flea flicker juke for Duke. He gets 4 yards. And then on the next play, Duke gets stripped. It's Clemson's ball. This is the first killer of the game. And for those that I've heard a lot of people, hello again, my brother's rehabbing my foot. Oh, little Charlie said, hello again, my brother, still rehabbing my foot, drop conundrum. Well, we're all praying for you, buddy. We hope that gets well really, really soon. But there's a lot of people that were crapping on the defense this game. And continuously this season, our offense has put our defense in short yardage situations after you heard me talk about we made them go 3-and-out. We fought for 3-and-out in that previous, and then we stuck our defense right back out on the field. It continued. So I was actually there's still something going on because last week we had the one guy with the 16 catches where they found a spot on the field and continuously attacked it. It seemed like the same thing. It wasn't the same guy, but the same part of the field was being attacked, and it is what it is. First play, they start on the 25-yard line. That's where Duke fumbled it. First one play, Jay. It's 10-9 Clemson. Offense puts the defense at a disadvantage again. Louisville 6th possession, got to hold on to the ball, punt. Clemson 7th possession, drop on 1st down, stopped on 2nd, and we are letting the clock run with 3 timeouts. WTF. It's 3rd and 6, stopped. It's 4th and 4, and we call a timeout with 6 seconds left. What in the entire funk is going on? Moss is doing his best Plummer impersonation in the first half. I don't hate it. Cards get the ball first in the second half, but Clemson is a daunting 158-12 when leading at the half. Louisville's 7th possession. Lacey's back in the game. Keywan for 21, followed up by 12 more for Keywan. Cards on the move. Skinner for 4. 2nd and 6. Screen pass to Hughes for 11. Keywan Brown hits his tank stick and then runs for 25 yards to the 4-yard line. Stuffed on first. Trick play. Moss flips the ball to Lacey. Lacey throws a 2-yard touchdown pass to Kriski. It's 16-10 Cards. Cards score on the opening drive of the half. I felt really good at this point. I felt really good in the first half, too. I honestly did not start to – you hear a lot of people say, well, I wasn't in doubt until the horn went. I really – because in the fourth quarter, and we'll get to that in a second, multiple times where we stopped them and gave ourselves even a chance from the 25 that we didn't cash in on. I didn't think we were going to lose the game until the clock did strike 0 this time, honestly. What's up, Zach? So trick play, 16-10 Cards. Clemson's 8th possession, they drive down the field. Field goal is good, 16-13 Cards with 7:07 left. Louisville's next possession, Bell for 8, Keywan for 4. It's a first down. Kriski with a 5-yard catch. Keywan truck move again for 24 yards. Substitution penalty. It makes it 1st and 15 from the 40. Let's see who we got popping in with this. Who we got? It's Wes Kesey. Then Duke gets 10 yards on the next play at 2nd and 5. Duke for 5 more. It's 1st and 10 from the 25. We almost get our Moss steak for the game, patent pending. 2nd and 10, and we're stuffed for a 2-yard loss, which makes it 3rd and 12. Duke gets an impressive 6 yards, but it's 4th down. Field goal is good. That we didn't know that was going to be the last time we heard that for the evening. It's 19-13, heading towards the fourth quarter. Clemson's ninth possession of the game. It's 19-13. At this point, that possession lasts the last couple minutes of the third quarter, first few of the fourth. It's 19-13. Cards going into the fourth quarter. Cards are 19-2 in their last 21 when leading going to the fourth quarter. Clemson at this point is 0 for 8 on third down. A Bailey horse collar gives them 15 yards. It's 1st and goal from the 10. Cy. 2 on first down, followed by a stop on second. 6 more on second after a lucky completion. It's 3rd and 2 from the 2. Fumble. They recover, and there are offsetting penalties. It's 4th and goal from the 2. It's defense's time to shine. They fumble again. It's our ball, but a penalty pushes us back to the 2-yard line. Costly penalties this game. Louisville's 9th possession. 20-yard play by Keywan Brown, negated by Nick Kriski hold. It's 1st and 11 from the 1. Moss launches forward for 1 yard. 2nd and 10. He misses on second down. KB goes for 4, and we punt 55 yards to the opposite 45. Penalties have now killed a few drives. Clemson's 10th possession starts with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Pressure on first down forces an out-of-bounds throw, 2nd and 10. 46-yard run, though, takes Clemson down to the 11. It's 2nd and goal from the 7. Gain of 2. 3rd and goal from the 5. Time for another goal line stand. Lubin stops him on the 1. It's 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Cardinal defense, stand up. Please stop them. For the love of God, they don't. It's now tied at 19 with the extra point. Clemson goes up 1 with 7 minutes left in the game. At this point, I believe, and we'll get to it here in a few, but I believe that we get the ball 3 more times, and we hold them 2 more times to not be able to score. If you told me that this situation was going to occur, I would say 99 out of 100. We do something, we win. Louisville's 11th drive of the game. Now, remember, I said before the show, this cannot be a game where we each get the ball 13, 14 times, because then it would be a shootout. Now, it didn't happen to be that, but we still let them go for a couple more drives than we should have. 7:16 left in the game. There's a gadget play for 48 yards. Oh, yeah, and it's a first down after 1 play. Cards ball on the 27. It's in 2nd and 9 after a Keywan Brown 1-yard rush. Watson stopped, 3rd and 9. They finally sack us. With 4 minutes left in the game, we attempt a 50-yard field goal, and it's no good. We have to stop them. I believe in the defense. We can get this done. Clemson's 11th possession. Stop them on first. Stop them on second. It's 3rd and 6. Stop them again. It's time to go win this with 2.5 minutes left in the game. It is Colin Lacey time. Nope, it's not. It's muffed punt time. Louisville gets the ball at the 23. Now, I don't know what you were thinking, Shawn, or Joey or Wes, but I know at this point I'm like, oh, this is a ball game. We just got to run the clock out, kick the field goal. It is what it is. False start on first down. It's 1st and 15. Kewan stuffed at 2nd and 17. 2-minute warning. Another unsportsmanlike makes it 3rd and 29. There's a curse word on the paper. Big catch by Meeks gets Louisville back in field goal range after a gain of 15. For some reason, we switched kickers. And to our long-range kicker, which hasn't hit anything but 55-yard field goals this year, or 56. And the 46-yard field goal is no good. 3 missed kicks, another penalty. This might be the ball game. And we still get the ball back one more time, by the way. Foreshadow. Clemson's 12th possession. They punt it back to Louisville. At this point, I'm not even writing stuff down anymore. I'm so aggravated. 30 seconds left. They'll start from the 8-yard line. No shots taken down the field. Cards with one last try. It's a ball game. We lose 20-19. We absolutely played the kind of – if you all remember in the preview, I said we need to play a 24-20 game. We need to muck this up. We need to run the clock out. We need to play – and we played the game we needed to play. I was talking to Shawn about this before the show started. I actually thought Miller Moss played a B+, A- game. He only almost made the one mistake, but he did everything. We depended on rushing the ball, which you have to do against this Clemson team. Shout out to Kewan. He proved to me that he is. So my gripe with Kewan, not really a gripe, but my analysis is that Kewan was a great backup back because he could come in fresh and just close out the game. He didn't do that well last week against California. He looked tired out, and Duke was still not 100%. But this week he carried the full load. So I have faith in him. I feel like he can do it now. Louisville moves to 7-3. Again, we played the kind of game we needed to. Special teams just let us down in this game. Penalties killed us. Missed kicks killed us. Moss played well. Not great, but well. What do you remember what his stat line was, Shawn?
19.
I got it right here.
Oh, Joey's got it.
19-27 for 212. No touchdowns, no interceptions.
So
QBR of 58.7.
So I don't know how you determine a QBR when you said it was 8 incomplete passes?
Yeah. He also had 4 carries for -3 yards.
And probably not having a touchdown. That probably contributes to your QBR, but he didn't need to because we had the running game going. He was a part of that running game. He had a touchdown rushing. So It is what it is. Defense continues to play well as long as they aren't put in short field situations with little time to rest. This is a part where I wanted to go to Sam, but I believe he's asleep because he's not answering any of my calls or texts. Once again. So here's what I want to know. First off, do we think, Shawn, I'll ask you this first. Do we think Moss turned the corner this week? Or was it just a fluke performance?
That's a tough one because I thought he turned the corner against Pittsburgh, and it turned out not to be the case. And
so he's got to do this again for you to be like.
And
okay.
Also, he's got to make more downfield throws. He has to,
because
when we got the ball back deep in our own zone, I didn't think we were going to score because I didn't think he could.
But here's my thing: what if the coach is just doing what the coach is telling him to do? The coach is not, and I know that speaks more, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. You got the script, we're going to talk about it a little bit if you're paying attention. But if he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's not making any mistakes, then he's already doing better than what he's done the last couple of weeks, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joey, what about you?
It didn't change my opinion any. I feel like it's been time to move on for at least a couple of weeks. And it didn't do anything, regardless of whether he's doing what the coaches is telling him to do. If there's shots downfield to be taken, it's his job as the quarterback to progress through reads, see an open man down the field and make a throw. I would be interested to see his pass chart, like 0 to 10 yards, 10 to 20, blah blah blah. I would say everything is probably under 15 yards. I know that he had some, he had like a 48-yard or along those. Some of those are yards after catch, included in that. But in the air, like his
he had 2 or 3 like 15 to 18-yard passes to Skinner up the middle that I like to see those. I think Skinner's being underutilized, by the way. I think he's open a lot and he's just not looked at.
I think our tight ends as a whole have been underutilized for most of the year. We have 2 or 3 really good tight ends.
Cashmere says, "What's up, Cards family?" Robbie says, "Oh yeah, I hate the CW. Have the app and still couldn't watch the game. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry about that." Cashmere, I'm ready for Cherry next year. Cashmere, brother, Shawn has been ready for Cherry for 42 years.
And a half.
Even though I know what you're talking about. Louisville Charlie, again, hello again, my brother, still rehabbing from his conundrum. We hope you get well soon, as Cashmere said the same thing. Zach Beckman, one of the sponsors from Beckman's Fine Blades, says, "What's up, my friends?" What's up, Zach? Doss Dragon, former. Cashmere said, "Yeah, like what the freak was that? Bad decision and clock management there." Agreed. Robbie says, "Extra point and 2 missed field goals under the 5-minute mark. Nothing else to say." Zach then follows up with, "My opinion is we need to move on Deuce. What do we have to lose?" And we'll talk about that in a second. And Zach says, "Also, Beckman's Fine Blades for your snow removal." Okay. Robbie says the defense did their job right, and then Ty Robinson comes in and says he's garbage and threw his team under the bus. Now, let's talk about that for a second. Out of all the things I wanted to see from Miller, or that I thought I would see from Miller Moss on Saturday or Friday, that's the one thing that I did not expect, especially when people had been just defecating on him all season. Some warranted, some. I think he's got a lot of unnecessary flack because let's say this. I will say this. If he doesn't make the mistakes against Virginia, I think people have a different opinion of him because he still was throwing for 300 yards a game. He was still throwing like 4 touchdowns to a pick. He was still doing really well to start off. I think that first loss to a team that is a bum team to a lot of people, me included. I think that put a lot of bad but he did not do a bad job. For this loss was not on Miller Moss, and that's why it shocked me to hear him do what he did after the press conference. Now, did he mean it the way he came out? I don't know. I can't speak for him. Was that just emotions from losing a game that you thought that you had won? I don't know. I wasn't there. But I also do not think that I'm not one of the opinion that he is a lost cause, right? There's only 2 games left, so maybe you can make the argument for, well, just take him out and eat the investment on him and put some of these other guys in. Then you may or may not win these next 2 games if you put somebody new in, but you may. But I still think Miller is the best choice right now because of his experience and because he's got he can do it. There's something to say about a quarterback, and again, nothing but love and respect for Miller Moss. But what you want from a quarterback is a quarterback that has a clutch gene for being calm under pressure. And Shawn, I have called all 6 of his interceptions this year, and it wasn't difficult. You can't have that, but I will say he did play decent Friday night. Jay Bell says Brom just is what he is. He deserved the loss after benching the kicker, but not Moss. Snaps bad, then a false start, and taking a sack took him to the edge of the range. And we'll talk about that sack here in a second because I've seen a lot of people getting on him for that. I don't blame him for taking the people. Anybody that's ever played the sport and played that position knows that especially that has watched him play the previous 9 games. If he tries to throw that ball, he's giving it right to him. There were enough guys that were right around him that he either gives it to him via interception or he's going to fumble the ball. He's already thrown a couple of questionable throws towards. I think he even threw one of his interceptions when he was trying to against Pitt, even when he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds. He either did or almost did. So I think for him, the best decision was, Shawn, I was screaming, go down. Okay. Jay Bell says we will be around 8-4 to 9-3 every year, and then when the stars align, we can be competing for a playoff spot that's realistic. Look, for me, I refuse to be a part of the society that's like, we've got to go to the playoffs every year. I refuse to be a part of the society that's also like, oh, well, we're Louisville, we're just never going to be good enough. I think we're on the cusp. I think Brom's going to be the one that takes us over that hump. And he's still getting his guys in there. And I know people don't like to hear that with this being the age of the NIL, but he doesn't even have a full recruiting class, a graduating class yet. This is year 3. So he's had the privilege of having some of the guys 3 years, but most of these guys are turnover. I think that guys like Deuce and Cherry will be the future. I think he's had to do the rent a quarterback thing these first 3 years because he's not been able to develop yet, not by any fault of his own, but he's not been able to develop a quarterback. And because they've not been here long enough for him to develop. So I do look for, I want to wait till after next season before I start to judge him on his developmental skills, because it just is what it is. He's went out and tried to get, we tried to get the Mendoza kid that's at IU, but he told us, we made him an offer. He told us, no, I'm staying at California. So we moved on and we went and got Miller Moss. And then a couple weeks later, he opens his recruitment back up and signs a big money deal. So it's not like, I hate to say it this way, but Miller Moss was not our first choice. But he was the best available. Jay Bell says, after beating Miami, given what was left on the schedule, folks started believing. Losing 3 games at home as favorites got people out. Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. We are 3 plays away from being undefeated right now, right? And you could even say we are a missed field goal in this game. Take either one of the turnovers for touchdowns away from Virginia, and we win that game. So there's play number 2. And then California, we lose to them in overtime. If we hold them, then that's 3. So you have to be able to keep these kids long enough to develop them. Absolutely, Robbie. And Jay Bell points out Brady Allen's been with him 3 years. And I don't know that that's been 3 consecutive. Didn't he have him at Purdue too?
Yes.
So a total of 4 years. So, but Brady Allen's never been the focal quarterback here at Louisville. He's always been 3rd or 4th. And as I can tell you, as a former college player, the 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks don't get nearly the investment and time put into development. They are the ones that the coaches expect to get the other quarterbacks water and snap balls to them and do stuff like that. They're not really. Oh, here we go. We got some Sam action. Let's go. How you feeling, Sunshine?
You should have called me.
I'll listen. I had a show to start. I wasn't trying to disturb you. I wanted you to feel better. But it's
like, how old are you, Sam?
Yeah.
Hmm?
How old are you?
38.
38, and you should have had another grown man call you to wake you up in time for a podcast.
Yeah, because I was still sleeping.
He was watching Steve's game. He's capping.
Football beat writer Sam Basin joining us this far in the show. But the thing is, I don't. My point. What was my point? Miller Moss didn't play a horrible game. It was this loss came down to special teams. Season isn't over, despite how some people feel, and will say you can still have a successful season. It hurts that we lost Isaac Brown. That he will probably be out for the rest of the season. That puts us at a disadvantage. We no longer have a closeout back. But again, KB did prove to me on that day that he can play the starter role finally, and that's no fault of his own because he had needed to be the starter. So what do we? Sam, I'll start you off with this one since you just joined us. What do we have to do for Louisville to still have a good year with the thoughts of the playoffs now formally and finally in the rearview mirror?
I would say the first thing you got to do is try to find a way to allow Miller Moss to be the quarterback that you brought him in to be. By that I mean find some ways for him to take some deep shots. A lot of times we have one-on-one coverage with either Collins or, well, not really Bell, but there are chances where you have Hughes, Meeks when he does get in the game, Collins when he's in the game, to take some deep shots, because everything that you sent a message, I think, yesterday or the day before in the group, where his average drop back passes is how many yards. If you're gonna play that shallow, then the defense is gonna pack things in. But for the defense to open up, you have to take some deep shots to get those safeties further back, to get those linebackers playing further back. If you're not doing that, they're condensing the defense, and now it makes it hard for you to run the ball. Those drag routes that Coach Brom loves to do, it takes those away too, because there's no deep threat. So find ways to manufacture a way that you can take a couple of deep shots early in the game to get the defense to loosen up. And that'll help your offense. And in terms, the defense been doing great. So it'll help your offense, and in turn, it'll help your defense as well.
Sam, what are we missing? So there's something obviously missing because defensively, because against California, the same part of the field, we said this before you hopped on here. Guy had 16 catches. Most of those catches were on the same part of the field. He went wild. This game, it was different. It was a variety of different players, but the same type of play right there in the middle of the field, up top, was being completed like there was nobody there guarding them. They had several big plays. Now, the one thing we did well against them, even though giving up those normally when they had big plays like that, they score. We held them scoring wise. But what exactly, in your opinion, where are we slacking defensively? Because we are, and I can't put my finger on it because I don't. We change our formations and who's covering a lot, and I'm just paying attention to, did we stop them? I'm not paying attention to who it is, but where is it for you that we're having the most trouble, and why are teams continuously picking on that same side of the ball every time?
Well, what I think it is, we're not getting the pressure right off the bat. So Coach English is one of those type of guys that he loves to bring the pressure from different ways. But if that pressure doesn't get home, now you're giving talented quarterbacks to find a mismatch. And if you have an athletic, a speedy slot receiver lined up, matching up against a linebacker, that linebacker could only cover for so long. And that's why they're getting open, because the pressure isn't getting there with 4 or 5 guys quick enough. So those intermediate routes are always going to be open, because you can't expect a TJ Quinn, TJ Capers, and things like that to continuously try to cover slot receivers. Maybe if it was a Hutchinson, he had a better chance of doing that, or sometimes even the safety. But the way how he designs his plays and brings the pressure, a lot of times the linebackers are at a disadvantage after about 3 or 4 seconds. And that's where you see it starts to break down and open up for the opposing offense.
Cashmere said DBs and up front. So again, for me, I feel like the only time the defense really struggles is when they've not had enough time to rest. When we do stuff like Duke getting stripped at the 25 right after they had just forced them to a very, very physical 3 and out, or force them to a punt. I don't remember if it was 3 and out, but force them to a punt. And then they get on the field and they just one play jade them right down the middle. So again, we are 3 plays away from being undefeated. Still have the most top 25 wins of anyone ranked in the CFP, even though we won't be for long. Still can and should win the last 2. It was kind of ominous to me. Pittsburgh fell out of both of the regular polls today, but James Madison jumped. So we still have the same amount of top 25 wins. Robbie said we didn't have anybody to cover DeJesus, and he just, if you watch, so I don't just watch our games against the players, right? I scout them. I watch all the other games. That dude ain't been, whenever he's even been semi-covered against any other team they played, he's been cheeks.
Yeah.
but we left him wide open. So that's why I'm not going to give him any credit. I'm not giving him any credit for catching a wide, just like I wouldn't give Shawn any credit if there just happened to be an inebriated female at his feet and he tripped and fell into her. He gets no credit for that.
It was the scheme that they used. They moved him around just about every single play. I could probably count on 5 plays where he got the ball where he wasn't in motion. Every time he was in motion, he was probably the first option, whether they give it to him or not. They moved him around to get him off of corners and onto linebackers and running across the field. They're not going to keep, like I said earlier, TJ Capers and TJ Quinn, they're not going to keep up with him running full speed across the field for so long. And that's what they did a lot. And credit to them for finding a scheme that worked and sticking with it the whole game, because most people don't do that.
No.
But yeah.
No, again, I'll reiterate. This game went exactly how we needed it. We talked about this in depth on the preview show last Thursday night. We needed to stretch the game out. We needed the defense to force punts. We needed them to hold. And it just sucks. It's so frustrating because if Duke doesn't fumble, we probably win that game. If the extra point's not missed, we probably get the battle into overtime. If you don't switch kickers, that kicker has been money for us all year. Whenever he has missed one, he's hit, and he had already hit some prior to that. So if you don't think like the thing, and I know this has been brought up by multiple people, and I'll address this. If you're not going to bench Miller Moss for the mistakes he makes, why would you bench anybody for missing the field, especially a guy who you know is like he's 2 for 5, 2 for 4 this year, and has only hit field goals that were over 53 yards. Like, I'm not trying to second guess. I mean, I am, but I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just like, why make that move? Why make that decision? It's just frustrating loss, frustrating way to go down and defeat. All right, we've got a porn. It's not Shawn. Let's see. Jay says we haven't played complimentary football all season. I'm shocked the defense hasn't given up more points. Well, the defense, good point there, but the defense has been pretty elite. I mean, I think that's a strong word to use, but I'll use that word. And it's also seemed that it seems like every time we've made a turnover on their side of the field, the opponents have cashed in on it every time. So, but no, when the defense has played well, the offense hasn't played well. And then when the offense comes out, which hadn't been often, and turns on all strikes on all cylinders, the defense has had some problems. The California game, that to me was the first defensive letdown of the year. And it was schematically because of schematics, but you've got to be able to fit. And here's the thing. Braum and English have been really good at making adjustments at the half all year. Why they weren't that game, I have no idea. 2 games left. I'm going to ask this question, then we're going to get to the happy part of the show. Wes, I'll go to you first. Do you sit Miller Moss and you play Deuce and you play Brady for the rest of the season to kind of get Deuce ready for next year? Or do you say, hey, we ain't got nothing to lose. Miller, go out there and chuck the football like you ain't chucked it before and see if that can instill some – because the biggest thing with quarterbacks, they're just like pitchers in baseball. You've got to feed their ego. You got to stroke their ego, and you got to walk on eggshells with them. If there's something that they're doing wrong, you almost got to – it's a poor kitty. Let's get you back to the bowl. Let's get you some milk. Which one do you do? Because I know what I would do, and mine's going to be unpopular, but I'm going to throw Miller Moss out there and tell him, throw the ball downfield. Show them why you're Miller freaking Moss.
Honestly, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say honestly, he played a competent game on Friday night. It wasn't anything special. He did what he needed to do. He was a game manager. He handled what he needed, like what he could get done. But the post-game comments, honestly, in my opinion, once you challenge leadership like that, I think you have to send a message. Like, even if it's only for a quarter or a half, I say take the risk of benching him because you're calling out leadership and that sends a message to the locker room. If you're able to say something like that vocally and challenge your coach like that, you should get disciplined for it. Talking about culture and everything else, but what are you doing as a leader?
Yeah, and I'll say this: we don't know. I'm sure he had to answer for that afterwards. I'm sure they've worked that out. So, because I know a lot of things, Jeff Brom's not going to take that crap. He's not going to take that crap. As soon as he heard it, he probably, punted him into the next room. John wants to know thoughts on the O-line last game, as far as the time Miller Moss has versus other games you watched this weekend. John, I'm sorry, buddy. I can't answer that question because as soon as we lost, I didn't turn another football game on the rest of the weekend. I didn't even watch my Steelers play today. I forgot they were playing. Plus, I was dealing with some stuff today, so I didn't really have the time to watch any football. But I didn't watch any of the other games. But I will say this: I thought we didn't get sacked until late into the midway through the fourth quarter, so I think he had plenty of time to do whatever he needed to do. Robbie says, "Yeah, man, you did it against us in the bowl game with 6 freaking touchdowns. He had like 400 yards that game too. I think
that speaks more to our defense. I think."
Shawn, there's times when you shouldn't speak at all, Shawn. Go ahead, Wes.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, that's because a lot of our defensive starters were out. So.
All right. Joey, what about you?
I don't know, man. I've been ready to jump off the Miller Moss bus for a while now. I'm to the point where I agree, like, regardless of emotions and this, that, and the other, he's been around college football long enough to where he has to understand he can't make comments like that in the post game. We need leaders, and he is not a leader. We need somebody that can go out and rally the team these last 2 games. He's not going to do it. He just ain't doing it. And I think Jeff Brom, I guess we'll see, man. I would just like to hope that he can see that as well and be like, well, we've got a run game that can carry the offense. If he brings one of the other guys in and, just tinkers with the passing to see what they've got, you can lean on Duke Watson, you can lean on Kewan Brown. We've got these tight ends that whoever he brings in can use as a security blanket, little short dump off passes. I just think it's time. I think we need to see what we've got for next year to see if we need to be looking in the portal again. I mean, if that's the case, then it is for me. I don't really care about the days of getting somebody and developing them over 3 years are pretty much over with NIL and paying players. You see it in basketball more so because there's a smaller roster size, but if you can go out and get, guys from the portal versus getting high school recruits, that's just the way it's going to go. I don't really care if we do have a different quarterback every year. That's not my main concern. I want our team to be the best team that it can be and win football games. And right now, I don't think that we're putting the best quarterback on the field.
And I'll be honest with you, I only saw a little bit of Deuce, but during the off season and in the game so far this year, and I've not seen anything that's made me think that okay, he can come in and do it right away. However, I'm a little split with y'all too. I think that my mind has been changed to let Miller have the ball in the first quarter against SMU, and if you can't do anything with it, fine, pull him. And yeah, Robbie, that California quarterback's looking really nice. Fulamula Malafala, son of a manama, bring him in.
Based on like what you just said, you haven't seen anything that says that he's ready to go right away. Well, okay, if that's the case, these next 2 games might be the games that we need to get him ready to go right away if he's going to be our guy next year. Because if he's not, then we're starting off the season with a guy that's not ready to be our quarterback.
I agree. And I know you didn't come to me yet, But
we might as well go to you. We know Shawn doesn't. Never mind.
Me personally, I would tell Miller Moss thank you, and I would bench him for the rest of the year.
Dang.
Because Joey mentioned, or you mentioned about not seeing enough that he could do. What have you seen from Miller Moss that makes you think that he should continue to be the quarterback? Most of our passes are 5, 7, 10-yard passes. I'm pretty sure Deuce Adams can do the same thing. But the difference with Deuce is you have that quarterback option run. He can take off if the play doesn't develop, or let him throw the ball down the field, because obviously Miller Moss isn't doing that. And when he does try, it's getting batted down the last 3 games. So there's nothing that is telling me that now had Coach Braun been doing some of these elaborate plays where you have this here and this here and you got to throw it deep, whatever, then I'd be like, you know what, the young guy probably isn't ready. But everything that Miller Moss is doing is kind of simplified. Is short passes here, quick passes to the things that any quarterback that you have at a Division I level should be able to do those things. So I would start Deuce and try to develop him to see what you have going in, because it's different than practicing the game, and you know that yourself. So he could look really good in practice, but what's he like when the lights turn on? Let's see if we could get him accustomed to playing at this speed, reading this coverage. The more experience you give him now is going to be better long term. So I would not wait, because we know Miller Moss is gone in the next 2-3 games. We know that. We might have a chance of keeping Deuce next year. So let's start right now, because you could win the next 2-3 games and be fine. But what's that going to do for the future of the quarterback room? Joey said he doesn't mind starting over. I kind of do. I feel like as great as a coach, you say you didn't mind starting a quarterback every year.
Oh, going out and get one from the portal. I mean, that don't matter. I mean, we can go out and get a wide. We do it at wide receiver a lot. We've done it at quarterback every year.
Right. Well, for me,
we can get the best guy on the field leading the team, whether it's somebody we've recruited and groomed, or it's somebody that we get out of the portal. I'm saying I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Like,
well, I'm not saying
the best person on the field.
And I feel like for me, it matters because Coach Braun is too good of a coach, too great of a quarterback coach to be starting over. This offense is too complex to be starting over from day one, year in and year out. Like, I would like to have someone who's been in the system for a couple of years, the way they know the entire playbook, instead of having to shorten the playbook and use these. That's how I feel about it. We could both be right and both be wrong, but that's just how I feel. Like, I would much rather him have a quarterback that's been in the system a little bit longer than just 6-7 months.
Well, so you don't have to keep reteaching the playbook over to the new guy, especially the quarterback. I see some breaking news. Yesterday, Ohio State offered our tight end commit Nick Louder. Today, he has flipped his commitment from Louisville to Ohio State. So, congratulations. Best of luck in your future endeavors. I hope Michigan beats the piss out of you. John says, I would support a change this weekend, but we got to play the best option to get the UKW for sure. J Bell says, if we go into the portal again for another quarterback, I'm going to start looking at Brom differently. I can see that. I mean, I don't agree, but I can see that. He says, plus Deuce can help himself if the offensive line gets wrecked, which is what y'all both just got through saying. Shawn, what about you? Are you bench Miller Moss, or are you giving him one more chance? And this is gonna help make my mind, because y'all know if Shawn's ready to mark Miller Moss, then it's a game changer.
I want to make one more point after Shawn finishes.
Okay.
So
he's done.
I see what you did there, Joe.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I just made that joke on the fly.
And boom goes the dynamite.
So Miller Moss, I think you have to bench him at this point. You have 2 games left. Right? What has he done to improve? Has he really improved all that much, really? we're not pushing the ball down the field. We got the ball with 50 seconds left.
So Shawn, let me just, I don't mean it, but let me tell you, as a lifelong Steelers fan, it is absolutely boring to watch your quarterback throw 12 touchdowns and 6 picks every year while your running backs rush for 2,000 yards every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why people didn't like it when it happened Satterfield. Was it his first year when we had Javian, Dez, and Tutu, and we did the grind down the field and won 24-21 every week, and it was like, oh, this offense, and people expected more out of Jeff Brom because he's a passing guru. So that's why I did not think that his performance Friday night was a horrible performance, especially compared to some other things, the Virginia performance and other things. But I'll go ahead. I just wanted to point that out real quick because no, this offense that we've ran this year has not been an exciting offense.
Yeah. The issue is, though, teams start loading up in the box because we tried to run the ball late and couldn't really run because it started loading the box. Like, wait a minute, Miller Moss can't beat us. Let's just load the box and then rush him when it's starting whatever. And we were losing yard. It was the 2nd and 12. Penalties cost us too. But the issue is I've seen him stare down one receiver every game this year. And that's led to interceptions, batted balls, you name it. And he's a 4 or 5 year quarterback by this point.
Yeah.
Why are you staring down one receiver every time? Why are you trying to force the ball to Chris Bell when he's triple covered? There's 3 other receivers on the field, 4 other receivers on the field. The running back's open the flat. That's your check down. Never looks there. He's got a running back wide open. And
Duke was wide open, yeah.
Yeah. And you put him out in space, guess what? He might score. But he's not seeing any of that. He has no vision. You remember that old Madden in the old Madden games? They had the vision.
Yeah,
they had the QB
vision. This
vision.
Yeah.
The people watching live, this is his vision. This is it. He doesn't have the Peyton Manning vision where you don't have to hardly turn your head to see the whole field. And that's the issue. At this point, I don't see how it's going to change. And I hate to say it, but listen, Kentucky's defense is good. And
okay, I'm going to stop you there. We're not doing this
tonight. No, we're not falling for that same track as last year.
If Shawn had his, if Shawn's vision was in a video game, it looked like a pencil. Calm down.
The only thing I wanted to add or report with is my thing about moving on now is if you're going to do it, you don't play Miller Moss this next game and then go to a new quarterback against Kentucky, right? If you're going to play Deuce, you play him against SMU.
Yes.
So he can get that game under his belt to where he's ready for the UK game.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
That's my biggest thing about it. If you're going to do it, it's now or Miller Moss plays the rest of the year, and we hope to hold on to some of these guys in the room for next year.
Agreed.
I think our running backs, according to some intel I got, I think our running backs are good to go to come back this next season.
I hope so.
And to Jay Bell's point, I didn't say he developed any quarterbacks. I said he was a quarterback guru or a passing guru. I haven't seen him develop a quarterback at Louisville, and I didn't watch him at Purdue, so I don't know. I don't know
that he did at Purdue or Western.
He had David Blau, and it was the other guy I couldn't remember, but he turned David Blau into an NFL draft pick.
And what about the
Aiden O'Connell, his quarterback? Was Aiden O'Connell?
Yes, him too. Yeah.
And Mike
quarterbacks in the league. He's put quarterbacks in the league for sure.
All right, there you go. So let's go ahead really quick. So we introduced this on the show episode 300. It was Shawn's new segment called The Barbershop. Now this is a Sunday exclusive segment that we're going to run every Sunday. We just wanted to debut it on episode 300 because it was such a big episode. We had the greatest wide receiver. Arguably, it could. When you mention the greats, he's one of the 3. If you're 45 years, if you're 35 years or older, then you know who Arnold Jackson is and the impact he revolutionized the wide receiver position here at the University of Louisville. We had top 1A, 1B quarterback of all time, Chris Redman, on here. We had the self-proclaimed greatest co-host in the history of Louisville sports radio on 93.9, Steve Rummage, on here, and then Joey and Shawn and myself were here as well. But we debuted the segment. It's only going to air on Sundays. Shawn, it is time to take it away. Here is The barbershop. Now, Wes, I know you haven't seen this live. Sam, I know you haven't seen this live. If you're going to laugh your butts off, please
I
mute your
did.
microphone.
Yeah,
I watched. Oh no. I watched it. Okay,
Okay,
never
you
mind.
watched. All right. So here we go.
I watched it, but my connection was kind of spotty at work, so I don't
I
think I really
forgot
got
that
to see it.
you've got the 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 Nextel internet there at work. So
I have Verizon.
here it is. It's the barbershop.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
girl, you like my favorite math problem. 2 plus me equals 2, and we can go back to the house and multiply.
Shawn, if you use that line on a girl, she's going to subtract your ass so fast. It's the barbershop.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
It's like that meme, the nice try meme, where they're patting him out. Nice try, pal.
With
Hizzy.
I think
Come
it
back
was.
to Hizzy.
I think it was either Steve or Joey that said it on Thursday. It's like, bro, come on, like you can't be serious. It's like you don't even have confidence in what you say.
It didn't sound confident at all. It sounded like he was reading it off of a piece of paper that I printed out 10 minutes before the show started.
Hey, Jeremy, real quick. Like when John Cena caught the Rock with his stuff written on his wrist. That's not like Shawn when he reads it. Just
yeah. Shawn was reading it off the back of his wrist and
Shawn-
stepping on it.
Shawn, in the dating world, he is Shawn Cena.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
They
Nobody
can't see him.
sees it.
Let's re-shout out our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, 4Picks, Collision Course Crew, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, Beckman's Fine Blades, Josh Jarbo from Remax Realty, and Prime IV Louisville. And speaking of Prime IV Louisville, are you ready to take your health to the next level? Prime IV Hydration and Wellness has a special promotion just for you. Join us now and receive 1 month free with a 6-month membership. This offer is only available for a limited time, so head on over to Prime IV in Middletown to enjoy their customized IV treatments and expert care. Elevate your wellness routine today. We want to thank you all. We know it's a Sunday night and you can be doing anything else, and you're hanging with us, kicking it with us, and we appreciate that. Kashmir says on the chat line, we got some more stuff to read out. He couldn't compete and win at USC with all the talent and athletes. So apropos, the next texter. Then with our talent hasn't been good. It can't be Riley or Brom. 2 big programs with 2 offensive gurus. It's you, buddy. I don't know if this person is, former kicker at the University of Louisville, very special kicker at the University of Louisville, the only female to ever kick at the University of Louisville. Catherine Clope, she agrees with us 100, and she didn't throw the kicker under the bus like Miller Moss did with his entire team. So Fabian Bradley says he had a good one at Western Kentucky as well. Mike, and then Jay Bell says Mike White was there when he got there. He is right. Okay. Shawn, what wasn't right was your pitch to the ladies. Let's never do that again. Until next week. Sam, the women's basketball team pulled off a close win today, but they won. At the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Did they have another game this week, or was this their only one this week?
I think they played Wednesday.
Women's basketball beat writer Sam Baisden. His headline says, "I think they played Wednesday." And Robbie, I got that. You've been here with us for a long time. We always talk about all the other teams during rapid fire. We're talking about women's basketball right now. The very, very impressed. Now, is she a transfer, Ziegler?
Yes.
From where? I know she's not
From
the
St. Joe's.
Another double today. She's absolutely flat out balling for this team. Very, very excited to see this team progress as the season goes by. Very, very excited to also talk about this. We touched on it a little bit, giggity, on Thursday night, but we had a lot of other stuff to talk about. Had some goats in the room, and Shawn. The number 12 Cardinals beat number 6, 7, whatever you want to call them, Lexington Tech Community College A&M 96-88. Louisville guard Mikael Brown Jr. 29 points on 8 of 16 shooting, while knocking down 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Conwell 24 points, including 4 3-pointers and several dagger buckets that halted Kentucky's late push. The Cards backcourt combined for over half of Louisville's scoring output, fueling a 13-0 second half run that turned a tight game into a 20-point cushion midway through the period. McNeely added 9 points and 5 boards. McNeely's a rebounding fool. I didn't realize how good he was rebounding. So DeFrew had 10 points and 7 clutch rebounds. I bring that up, the McNeely thing, because McNeely had 6 rebounds against Ohio. Conwell had 22 with 5 threes this game, 6 boards and 3 assists. Mikael, 19.7 assists. McNeely had 4 3-pointers and an old-fashioned M1. 6 rebounds, as I said. Frew had 14 points, 5 rebounds. Hadley, 11 and 4 rebounds. And Woolley contributed 11.6 rebounds in the victory. Kobe had 7 points at halftime, finished with 7, and he had 5 boards as well. This game, 106-81 victory, 46% from behind the arc. Phenomenal. Still missing way too many free throws. We're 95 of 129 on the season for 73%. Not really playing much defense unless it's necessary. In parentheses, I have C the last 5 minutes of the UK game. 133 for 266 on the season from the field. I know some of you aren't mathletes, but that's 50%. Very, very easy to figure that math. Well, not for Shawn, because Shawn's challenge. But the Cards have scored 100 points in 3 games in a single season for the first time since the 2010-2011 season. So I'm going to, and really quick, I want to, Sam, you had something to add about the women's team. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask who they played next.
I don't even remember.
Morehead State at 8 o'clock on Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. I know someone
that was Joey
looked
that put that in the chat. My bad. I thought it was Sam because it was women's basketball. My bad.
No, I just had stuff up on my.
Robbie said Shawn is off limits since episode 299. That's fair. Very, very fair. So let me ask this first. And Joey, we'll go to you first on this. Do we just have a pro-style team this year? Is that what we should expect from PK? We saw flashes last year. Don't play a whole lot of defense. Can knock the bucket down efficiently, consistently. I don't like giving up 71 points per game, especially to an Ohio, to a Kentucky. And I know we only gave up 45 in the first game, but who do we play after them? Who was game 2 again? We put
Jackson State.
Yeah, okay, put up 106 against Devin Ree and Jackson State. That's right. But Jackson State scored more than they should have. Kentucky scored more than they should have. Ohio scored. And listen, with any of the Louisville teams from the last 3 seasons, this Ohio team probably is right there with them all the way to the end. We made them look like they were a top 25 team offensively. So do we just have a pro-style team this year, or is this just, the new normal?
No, I think it's still so early, and they're very aggressive on defense. I mean, we did get 11 steals. We did get 3 blocks in this last game. I think that they're just playing very aggressive right now, and they're still gelling. Like, as much as you have to gel with each other on offense, you have to learn to gel with each other on defense. And I think the gelling on offense has progressed a lot faster than the gelling on defense. We have some guys that get out to do a quick double team and don't get back to their man fast enough. Playing help defense, they don't get back to their man, so somebody's wide open for a jumper or a layup or a dunk or alley-oop, whatever. And as the season goes along, that'll fix itself. So, and at the end of the day, if we're winning by 25 and we're scoring 106, I don't really care if the other team scores 81. Like, just me personally. I mean, if we're playing, we've got 11 guys that are playing 10 plus minutes a game or close to it, 10 plus minutes a game, 10, 11 guys. We're just going to we're going to wear teams that when we get into the conference schedule, we're getting into this Cincinnati, Memphis, Baylor, UK, all the like just playing UK. When we're playing all these non-conference games, we're going to Tennessee. Yeah, there you go.
Arkansas, right?
Yeah, you got Arkansas. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, we're going to be we're getting things primed for the later games, I think, right now. But again, they're gelling obviously a lot quicker on offense than they are on defense, but that'll get better as the season goes along. When you score 34 field goals and you have 23 assists, it's a pretty good day.
Sam.
Well, you got to think too. I think this is just for right now. I think the defense will get better because Coach Kelsey is going to emphasize defense because he's been doing it from year one. But you got to also look at it too. If we're scoring over 100 points a game, then then it's more possessions in the game, and the more possessions each team has, the more likely chances they're going to score, whether it's just a tough shot or someone making a foul here or there. So yeah, I just think it's something that's going to get better as the year goes on, and as he starts to tighten up his rotation, and as they continue to gel, like Joey said, like offense was kind of. I guess the offense was kind of easy for them to gel because you have so many different playmakers, so many different scorers who can score at different levels. But when it comes to defense, you have to be one hand and one glove. So, and that takes time. And we're still early, 3-4 games into the season with a lot of new faces. It'll get better as the year goes on.
Chris Curry says Wildcats, Bobcats, and next up Bearcats. I never did like cats. Now,
Shawn don't either.
He just has never had one. I don't know that he likes them or dislikes them. And then Robbie says, put them on the treadmill after the game, old Rick Pitino style. Don't like seeing the cramps and slowdowns at the end of the games. That's very fair. 104 points per game, 3 games with 104 or more points. I think this is what it likes to love basketball again. I don't remember ever having a team this deep, and that could be a little bit to do with the recency bias, maybe. Definitely one of the more efficient shooting teams I've seen over the last 30 or so years. Shawn, I accidentally skipped you. We'll let you go last, and that's probably how it's going to be in life as well. But what are your thoughts on it?
The one thing I noticed watching the game yesterday, Ohio made a lot of tough shots. There were like 4 or 5 times I saw them do a fadeaway jumper, guy right there, and they just made it. I mean, sometimes good offense just beats good defense. That's just the way it is. You can actually play it perfectly and still doesn't matter. I mean, heck, in the game on Tuesday, the reason the other team made that run is because they were jacking up threes that happened to go in. I mean, they weren't open threes. They just made tough shots. Sometimes that happens. The defense, though, the rotations are a little slow, and I just think that's because they're still learning each other, and there's still a lot of combinations, still playing a lot of combinations of players. So when you're doing that, a lot of times in practice, you may not have these same combinations in practice a lot, or you may have it and it just plays differently in practice than it does in the real game. So I think it'll be just fine. And as long as we keep scoring, that's all that matters. If you keep scoring, it's not going to matter too much. And I don't think we're going to have a problem with that this year.
Fabian says, what is Miller's NIL could be the reason he's not been benched yet? I guess. But, I mean, if you're going to take a loss with not playing them, I mean, the money's already been spent. So there is what it is. And Jay Bell says, we got the type of guards that Cal used to get and wreck us in that game. And I agree with that as well. The Cardinals will next face Cincinnati Friday night at 6:30 p.m. on ESPNU at Heritage Bank Center, Arena, Forum, whatever they want to call it up there. Horrible place to go watch a game. Just glad to have the rivalry back. Last but not least, we're going to go into the rapid fire segment. The number 20 Louisville women's soccer team survived a thriller over an unranked, unworthy foe and advanced to the next round of the NCAA tournament by beating Kentucky on penalty kicks. Saturday afternoon at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium, the Cardinals scored an equalizer from Amelia Swinarski in the 79th minute to push it to extra time, and then penalty kicks, where Mackenzie Geigel was the hero to advance as the Cards advance to the second round. U of L's men's cross country team has earned an at-large invitation bid to the 2025 NCAA championships, as announced by the NCAA on Saturday. After earning a sixth-place finish at the Southeast Regional Championships, the men's team was selected by the men's and women's cross country subcommittee as one of the 14 at-large teams to be added to the 32-team field. Congratulations, then, because I know that's not a sport here at Louisville that gets a lot of recognition and love, and that's exciting for them to have made it. Calissa Blackshear, Kara Cressy, and Hannah Sherman each had 8 blocks to power the number 7 ranked U of L volleyball team to a 3-1 win over Florida State Thursday night at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. And today they were playing number 14th ranked Miami. Is that who it was?
Mm-hmm. Eight ranked Miami, right?
No, they were in double digits. Regardless, they went down 2-0 and pulled the reverse sweep on the team they were playing today. Thanks, Higgy, for not putting that in there. You're fired. Robbie said, we paid you, Miller Moss. Don't lose the UK. Okay. Don't forget to help support our photographers, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, Keith and Renee Russell. Renee's got a photo gallery about to drop here in a little bit. Jeff dropped his one today after he got done pouting all day yesterday about the loss. Make sure you check them out on the website. And some recognition and love to our beat writers for women's basketball and football. Sam Bazin, he's on the show with us tonight. And our new men's basketball beat writer, Taylor Kopp, who actually shot the game for us yesterday because Jeff ran out of Geritol and Keith couldn't. Keith was busy, so Taylor shot it. Did a really good job. She is really killing it for us. We appreciate her. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer YouTube. You can find the audio version of this podcast on over 125 different avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is that Shawn does on the weekend. Hit that right now to have this downloaded directly to your phone, PC, or laptop, or in Shawn's case, to your Tamagotchi. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, go to the podcast tab, go to the podcast drop-down menu, and select CSZ Podcast for the new stuff. For the old stuff, just hit archives. It's easy to find it. Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com, the place that I'll begin. Shout out to everybody who's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate and love you guys. Shout out to you all for tuning in. And shout out to guys like Robbie, who've been here with us since day one, and still supporting and showing the love, even though sometimes he likes to watch the games and get a little rambunctious on the chat line. We don't care. We love it. We appreciate and embrace everybody. Shout out to our guys Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10 to noon on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. Shout out to Dalton for his Mondays with DP, from 6 to 7 on the Big X. And Blake and TJ's new show, Spilling the Ville, doing really, really well as well. Guys, where can people find you on social media? Sam, we will start with you. If you're awake, your head's down, so I don't know what you're doing over there.
Nah, still hurt.
I know. I'm sorry.
Baseboy 124.
Shawn? No, not Shawn. Joey?
Joe Wallman 526.
Wes?
West Keys _CSZ.
Shawn, where can they find you on social media?
At Elville Shawn, S Barber 6.
Okay. And where can the ladies find your Bumble account? Or do you have Grindr? I'm not.
Stumbling and bumbling 6.
Okay, this just got real stupid.
Whoa! He answered the Grindr. Whoa!
This just got real
He
stupid.
said Bumble.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
It was not time for that bit again, Shawn. Shout out to our fine. I'm just throwing it back by Shawn.
I broke him.
You broke. You did it.
Whoa. You broke who?
He did it. He did it. He did it. He did it. He did it.
No, he didn't. Shout out to our friends at the 502 Circle, Mark and Dan, getting things done. And shout out to all of our fine sponsors once again. Speaking of our fine sponsors, did you know that regular IV therapy can help improve your energy levels, boost your immune system, and enhance your overall well-being? At Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, their memberships offer a convenient way to maintain your health with monthly treatments. Visit them at Prime IV in Middletown to learn more about how their wellness plans can support your lifestyle and help you feel your best every day. Give them a call at 502-251-9836. I promise you, it's a game changer. Myself, Joey, Shawn, we're still trying to get Sam to come in
I might have could have used that today.
You probably could have. We're gonna have to try to get you in there the next time. We'll plan it all together, and we'll plan it for a day where yesterday. So still good experience.
Yeah.
Just the environment wasn't as chill as it normally is. I don't know why. It might have been because we had just watched Louisville play Ohio in basketball and we were hyped up. So it could have been that, but it is what it is. Final thoughts, Wes. Let's go to you.
For the most part, great week for Cardinal sports outside of Friday night, but yeah, let's get back to the drawing board and finish out the season strong in football. Men's basketball's got it rolling. Go Cards.
Shawn.
Well, it's going to be 2 games left. Win out. If you win out, you still had a good season. 9-3, still a really good season. You go to the bowl game, and then we see what happens in the offseason as far as the roster. And in basketball, thank God for basketball, man. They are unbelievable. And I don't see we're going to lose a game or two, sure, but we're going to be in every game. We're not going to get blown out like we did last year. We're going to be right in every game.
We're not going to get blown out like we did last. When did we get blown out last year?
Tennessee.
At the beginning of the season. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Okay,
Bro, we lost like 20. We won like 20. We went 23-1 to finish the season. I'm not really sure when we got blew out.
Yeah, so we're ahead of the game. We're ahead of the curve from last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So far, knock on wood. Robbie's letting us know SMU
Way ahead
defeated
of the
Stanford in volleyball, which will help us out seeding-wise in the ACC tournament, and nationally should help us jump a couple of more spots up. So that's all you have to say, Shawn? Nothing eventful. Just
nothing eventful, no.
Pure Schwan. No marking.
No, there's nobody to murk right now.
Shawn said no marking, no jerking.
We'll save that
Sam.
for Friday.
What?
No.
What?
Well,
What?
Unbelievable.
This is why we need to be on Sirius Radio.
Son of a... Never mind. Unbelievable.
Sam. Save us, Sam.
He's broke.
My final words are, for right now, it was going to be bench Miller Moss, start Deuce Adams, but you know what? I'm Louisville through and through. I don't care who the starting quarterback is. I don't care if you lose to SMU. It's 2 weeks from now. Just beat those kitty cats. That's all I care about.
We'll explain to you what that means later, Shawn. Joey.
Thank goodness for Pat Kelsey. 2 years ago, losing to these last 2 games, we would have just been in a 8-month depression sports-wise. So thank goodness for Pat Kelsey and the men's basketball team. Again, most people thought this Louisville team was a 9-3, 10-2 team anyway going into the season, right? So they're still on pace to meet expectations for what the season looked like before the season. I thought they were better than both of those numbers, but and I do care if we lose to SMU. I don't want to lose to SMU or the Cats up the street. I want to finish 9-3. I want to go get a bowl win, finish 10-3 on the season, and build on the momentum going into next season, because we lost a recruit today. We don't want to keep losing recruits. So we need to keep winning games, keep putting the best product on the field for them to watch. So football team, regroup, Go back out, give your A, finish the season out, and basketball team, keep looking like you're the best team in the country. Because I'm telling you, I got to feel. I've watched a lot of the college basketball games and a lot of these top teams, and we look just as good as anybody that I've seen. So
you forgot to do the rest of your shtick.
Oh, Maryland sucks.
Well, yeah. And what about Shawn and the Pets population?
Well,
With those pickup lines, jeez.
Shawn is. We talked about this the other day. I taught Shawn what a haboob was, and when it happens for Shawn, Shawn's going to release a haboob. So he's already helped control the population. Period.
Wes, do you remember what your prediction was for the Louisville and Kentucky basketball game? I know I said 105 to 55. I was just being unrealistic.
I don't remember at all. I'm not going to.
All right. So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do, Wes. I want you to, after the show, to go back to the last, so it'd be episode 299, and find out everybody's score, because Chris believes that you nailed the score almost exactly, which is something none of us ever do. We get I got close football wise this week. We should have won 24-20 with the extra point in the field goal, or the extra point in the safety even. So we're wanting to see how close. If anybody else is out there, I know Robbie listens a lot. Maybe you can go back and listen to it. But kudos if you did. My final thoughts are this. Let's win out in football. Let's continue to play back. As PK said the other day, they're hooping. So let's continue to be hooping. And let's try. Look, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to fan. I love everybody in here, from Robbie to Ty to Jay Bell to Cashmere to everybody. But let's not become one of those fan base. And I've started to see it, and I don't like it. And I'm not going to tell y'all how to fan and judge, but 10-2, 9-3, those are acceptable football seasons, and that building block seasons, right? Let's continue to build. Let's not worry. Let's just try to worry about what we can control and don't worry about what we can't control. And let's get these last two. And if we don't win the last two, and then we go to the Hostess Twinkie Bowl, then let's cheer for us to win that game too. It's like, you cannot. I know players are getting paid, but you cannot put a price on your fandom. At the end of the day, these are still games for our entertainment, and let's treat it like that. They're talking with Arnold the other day, talking with Chris. Like, we even brought up our freshman year at U of L. We went 1-11, and then turned. And I know we didn't have 1-11 this year, but like, this is a solid football team. Cannot help that we lost one of our key players, so it is what it is. Let's just do the best, and I'm not trying to do the rah-rah stuff, but let's do the best that we can with these last few games. If it's time to put in a new quarterback, then so be it. Let's do that, and let's get ready. But if it's Miller Moss in there, let's cheer for Miller Moss like he's the best option out there, because Jeff Brown would not put an inferior quarterback. He would not do that to us. He wouldn't have a better quarterback sitting on the sideline. He really believed in Miller Moss. And Miller Moss, Jeff Brown didn't let us down. Miller Moss let us down. And I hate to say that, but again, I don't, because as we said the other night, these kids are getting paid now. So that makes them succinct to criticism. I'm sure he's a great dude. He didn't deserve all the death threats after the game. He didn't deserve for somebody to tell him, man, I saw a tweet after the game that was like, man, I wish you stayed in your house that burnt down in Southern California. And that's just uncalled for. We don't need to be that type of fan base. That's what those people down the road are. And I can tell that by the way some of y'all are reacting, that one of your parents were raised by a Kentucky fan, or you wouldn't be acting that way.
Think about this real quick.
All right, let's think about it.
Over the last 2 seasons, we've lost 6 games by a total of 28 points. We're on the cusp. We're on the cusp. We've lost 6 games by a total of 28 points.
That's a scary statistic.
So we're on the cusp, and once we break through, I think we'll be fine. But we've got to get that breakthrough season, and it's just a matter of time. So
absolutely, I agree with you there. So for myself, for Sam Beza, for Shawn Barber, for Wes Keys, for Joe Wallman, and again, if I didn't say it before, Robert Host said I showed Shawn a picture of Mark Stoops. No, I didn't. And that is an insane stat, John. I'm Jeremy Wallman. Thanks again for all the support. We love you guys. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast.